The veil of normalcy, the quiet cul-de-sac. It's the perfect stage for a hidden nightmare. We love our neighbors because they are a reflection of ourselves. Mundane, predictable, safe. But what happens when that mirror shatters? What if the picket fence isn't a border, but a cage? The truth is, behind every drawn blind, a secret breathes. And sometimes, that secret isn't just dark, it's hungry. Tonight, we peel back the veil on the 3 very scary true neighbor horror stories. Tale 1. The Silence of Mrs. Alder. The first house belongs to Mrs. Alder. She was the picture of gentle elderly life, soft floral dresses, a meticulous garden, and a quiet wave every morning. The only strange thing was her husband, Marcus. He vanished 6 months ago. The official story: he left for a long, specialized medical treatment. But we all heard the sound 2 nights before he left. A single, guttural scream that cut through the summer air, followed by a sudden, absolute silence. Now, Mrs. Alder is different. Her eyes are too wide, too calm. Her garden is dead. And the most unsettling detail: the small basement window, usually dark, now emits a sickly, amber light, flickering as if from a struggling lamp. One evening, young Tim, chasing his ball, pressed his face to the grime-smeared glass. He saw only a shadow, tall, distorted, unmoving, and a sound, muffled but distinct, like a heavy chain dragging on concrete. Tim ran home, but the next morning, he noticed a new addition to Mrs. Alder's yard. A ceramic garden gnome, one he'd never seen before, with eyes painted a chilling, lifeless amber. It was placed exactly where he stood the night before, and it was facing his window. Tale 2. The Rhythm of the House. The second house, the new construction, sat empty for months. Then, the Hart family moved in. They were vibrant, loud, full of life. They threw parties, we exchanged pleasantries. But 3 weeks ago, the music stopped. The laughter vanished. Now, all that comes from the house is a sound. A rhythmic, dull thud. It starts precisely at 3:17 a.m., and stops exactly at 4 a.m., every night. It's not construction, it's not music. It's a deep, vibrating percussion that seems to come from the very bedrock of the property. I tried to dismiss it as a faulty appliance. But one night, curiosity won. I stood in my yard, flashlight off, listening. The thud 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 was hypnotic, relentless. Then, I noticed the front door. It was slightly ajar. I pushed it open just an inch. The air inside was heavy, metallic, and cold. The sound was louder here, vibrating in my chest. I called out, "Hello, is everything okay?" The thudding stopped instantly. The silence was heavier than the noise had been. I saw a sliver of movement at the top of the staircase, 2 small, barefoot figures standing absolutely still, silhouetted against a deeper shadow. They didn't move. They didn't speak. But as I backed away, I heard a new sound, a low, rapid whispering, 100 voices speaking at once, coming from the center of the living room floor. I ran. The next day, the Hart family's car was gone. The front door was locked. But that night, the thud 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 began again, right on schedule. Tale 3. The Boy Who Saw the Third House. The most terrifying because it involves a child. Our neighbor's son, 9-year-old Ethan. He was the only one who seemed to notice the shifting reality. He'd stand at the end of his driveway, pointing at our homes, his face a mask of cold terror. "They're wearing their faces wrong," he'd whisper to his mother. They put the eyes in the wrong holes. His parents dismissed it as a phase, a childish imagination running wild. But the things Ethan described, the way the grocery delivery driver had two shadows that moved independently of him, the way the woman across the street's smile stretched too wide, revealing teeth that were too long. Then, Ethan told me about the swap. He claimed that late at night, when the streetlights flickered, the people in the houses would leave and trade places with another, a mirrored, distorted version of themselves that only emerged in the dark. I didn't believe him, until last Tuesday. I was working late, glancing out my window at 3 a.m. A figure was standing by the curb, the mailman, in uniform, staring directly at my house. Except, it wasn't the mailman. Its head was tilted impossibly far to the side, and its movements were all wrong, jerky, and slow. I grabbed my phone to record, but just as I did, the figure turned and walked toward Ethan's house. It didn't use the front door. It simply pressed itself against the siding, and the wall rippled, swallowing the figure whole. The twist and cliffhanger. I waited for the morning, ready to warn Ethan's parents. I knocked. No answer. I peered through the window. The house was spotless, but eerily empty. I called the police. They found no sign of the family, no forced entry. Just a single piece of paper taped to the refrigerator. It was a child's drawing. A picture of me. I was standing in my own yard. But my face was drawn with the unsettling, too wide smile Ethan had described. Beneath the drawing, scrawled in an uncertain child's hand, was a single, chilling sentence. The swap has room for one more. I ran back home, locked every door, every window. I looked out at the silent cul-de-sac. Mrs. Alder's amber light was out. The Hart house was still, but now, every house looked the same. Every curtain, every shutter, perfectly drawn. They aren't trying to hide their secrets anymore. They are hiding me. Because if I look closely at my reflection in this very window, how do I know the face staring back is truly my own?